Today's episode is brought to you by Raycon.
Head on over to buyraycon.com/rogue and get 15% off your first order. They're awesome.
Movie theaters reopening. Just wait for the HoloFlex. It'll blow your mind. Seems as though the Garfield index is quickly outpacing the Dilbert markets. We all could have seen that coming. Simpsons really did peak with season 74. That's just indisputable.
Jason Murphy!
Yeah?
It is I, a clone descendant of the great magician and wizard Brian Brushwood from the year
2153. Yeah, I know.
Right, but what you don't know is that I'm here because in that year, you, my friend, become...
God Emperor of the known universe.
But even that was fine. When you really messed up was when you started screwing.
You one of the monetary
with...
policy guys? Which one are you, fiat or hard?
I'm a Bitcoin guy.
Bitcoin. Okay.
For the future crime of destroying that blood upon which our civilization flows, I hereby sentence you to
Okay,
death.
I'm gonna stop you
by
right there.
Space laser. I don't want to shoot you in the... What are you doing? What is that?
Just hang on.
Would you look at me menacingly so I can... I'm not messing around!
You know what's great? Having a crazy idea and not having to do it myself. Annalisa, you made a samurai sword bookcase, I guess. I thought, oh, this is gonna be easy. This is a cool idea because there are very few things as awesome as hidden weapons, like a cane sword.
I know, right? This was super cool to work on. I don't know what you had in mind when you originally came up with this, but this is what you got.
This is what I had in mind.
You wanted to hide a sword in some books, so I hid a sword in some books.
Now, what I had originally envisioned was something like this. So I first ordered these, and they're not quite long enough for the sword that I had also ordered off the internet. How great is it you can order swords off the internet? Now, originally, when we were gonna do this, Brian and I were gonna do it all on camera, and it was going to take, I don't know, 5, 6 years. Let's be honest, it's probably one of those episodes that we never would have finished. There are a few of those, and this was gonna go into that vault. But I thought we were gonna take these and make them each like the book safe, basically, where we had just like X-Acto knives, gluing the pages together, and then slowly carving out by hand each one. You used something called technology, machinery.
I have a workshop. I have power tools. I use them. There's about 3 different ways that you can go about this that I know of. The first one was your way. That's the one that there's a million tutorials for on the internet, where you get your beverage of choice, you find something nice on Netflix, and you just sit there with an X-Acto knife and just...
For the rest of your life.
Pretty much. But those people are usually only doing one at a time. This is a little bit more. So
Yeah.
I had to call in for reinforcements.
Okay, how did you do it?
The first method that I worked on was a regular power drill with a paddle attachment.
Okay.
And it worked. Normally, when you need to just cut a hole in something and not just cut through, you need to have a starting point, which is why I used a regular drill with a paddle bit and then a jigsaw. So you start with the hole and then jigsaw around. That was taking a while. It was really rough on the drill. So
It was probably tearing up the pages quite a bit,
oh,
too.
it was terrible. They burned. There was a terrible smell. It was a little bit of an ordeal. It was working, but it was taking a really long time.
Okay.
I happen to have a drill press at home with this wonderful thing called a Forstner bit. That thing ate right through the cover, and it took a little while to cut the actual holes in it. But then I could have come in with the jigsaw real fast with that. That would have sped up the process an awful lot. However, I thought to myself, man, sure would be cool if I had a giant Dremel. Turns out there is a tool that is basically a giant Dremel. It's called a multi-tool.
Okay.
And it has an oscillating blade.
Okay.
It's a little rectangle-shaped blade that just goes zzz, teeth on the top, and it just chews right through the books.
Oh, like it was perfectly made for this.
Each book did take about 10 minutes to do. Getting through the cover is actually pretty easy. It's getting through the pages because they move on the inside.
Okay.
Paper is really tough on blades, as it turns out, because it moves and there's a lot of friction, and there might have been a little bit of smoke here and there.
Nice.
Like if you open this up, you can actually smell the burned pages still.
So in order to keep it from moving, it looks like first you glued all of the pages together.
Yeah.
What kind of glue did you use? I know in the past we used Mod Podge.
This is just regular shop-worthy wood glue.
Just wood glue, okay.
Yeah, because it dries really fast, and I wasn't sure exactly how long I was gonna have to do this. Generally with wood glue, the object that is glued will fail before the glue will. So
Gotcha.
that seemed like with the weight of these. Oh, and that's another thing. Instead of just gluing the entire thing together, I glued it together in sections so that we can actually move it around.
Yeah, because if you have a single piece, it's so heavy and so long that it'll probably like snap in half or something like that at various weak points.
Oh, sure.
This makes it easier to move. And still, you get the idea when you put it all together like that. You glued them all together, you cut it with the multi-tool. And let's go ahead and see. Yeah, all right. And then you just glued the sections together with the same wood glue?
Yeah, each of the books is glued together, and then I actually used the biggest C-clamps I've ever used in my life to squish them all together while they were drying. The glue tends to sort of drip down because it's a liquid and stuff, and you don't want the pages to start getting fat and expanding a whole lot.
So if you were to redo this, was there anything that you would do differently?
I would have started with the right tool for the job. Each one of these books took me about 10 minutes to carve out once I had the right tool.
With the multi-tool?
With the multi-tool,
Oh,
yes.
wow, okay,
Which was way better than the other ways.
Okay, so even with all of your mistakes and everything, how many hours would you say that this took, ballpark?
I'm not sure I'm ready to think about that number.
Okay, awesome.
So the whole thing is assembled. We've got the sword in it, but it just needed a little bit extra. I added this nice sleek black paper liner to the front because these were workshop books that had workshop pictures, but this is just so much more sleek.
Oh, it is? You did this, okay.
And not torn up.
Yeah.
And to make sure that it stays closed when it's supposed to, I embedded magnets into it.
Nice, I didn't realize that. Oh, that is cool. Do you want to draw it dramatically for the camera while everyone is watching?
Of course I do.
Let's do it. Oh, focus your chi, do it.
Watch, it's gonna get stuck for me.
Nice. All right, so next, I want some size. Do you know what size are? You know what size are, right? Raphael from Ninja Turtles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
I want a Sega Genesis that pops open and reveals size. So, next week?
Sure,
Cool,
totally.
all right.
So I've confessed before, I love falling asleep listening to podcasts or audiobooks or whatever, and I wear my Raycon Everyday E25 earbuds in bed when I fall asleep. I've learned to wake up if one falls out and just clutch it like a baby holding a blankie.
Yeah, that's weird.
I've gotten even farther now. When I wake up and I don't want to listen to anything, I put them back in because they're very comfortable earplugs. In fact, I've also figured out that I can wear just one and the other side is on my pillow and the world goes away. Everything gets quieter. In fact, you ready? Big reveal. Da 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 da. I've been wearing one the whole time.
Just because they're comfortable?
Well, that and the fact they have the exceptional bass and that they're easy to match Bluetooth with everything. They're affordable. They're less than half the cost of most other premium brands. They're amazing.
I have a chip in my hand, and I'm less weird about it than you are about those Raycons.
That's not a
But
lie, dude.
I also can't listen to anything when I
mean,
hold.
You realize all day, every conversation anyone has with me begins with, I'm sorry, what?
As if people didn't have enough trouble getting you to pay attention to them.
But there's so much good content out there. I'm constantly listening. And it's good because they have 6 hours of battery life and they recharge inside the pod. It's awesome. Go to buyraycon.com/rogue. That's ROGUE. And you get 15% off your first purchase.
Or click the link in the description below if you don't like to type things.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about
Who wants to
spelling or
type?
anything.
Forget typing. I didn't say that. Sweet Baby Jane, one of mine or one of yours?
Yours.
See, one of those, hold on. Like the money guys?
Yeah, the currency clowns.
So like on the hard currency or the fiat currency?
Bitcoin.
Those guys are the worst. I'll clean it up, don't worry.
Yeah.